Welcome to the Hudson Valley Disc Golf Podcast. Jack, you are the reigning champion in trivia, I think. So why don't you go?
Yes, he won Wolf.
118. You got the whole course.
All of the holes.
Yes, the whole holes.
I'll Kenji this shit up and go with hole 1.
All right. Fuck.
Or 2.
No. That's cool. Give me a second here. All right, hole 1. We're going to talk about rules stuff. There's some rule stuff on here. But while I was doing some research, I came across this name, and a lot of people don't like. Who is Heinold that runs like the PDGA? Does anybody know?
Yeah.
Oh, Nate Heinold.
Nate Heinold.
And why don't people like him? And is it warranted?
I think people love Nate Heinold.
I've heard a lot of people, and I don't know Nate Heinold at all. I don't know any of the information, but I've just heard from people that they think he's in it kind of for the wrong reasons. He just likes being powerful. But I have no reason to actually believe that. That's just what I've heard from other people.
My guess was going to be because he's actually trying to accomplish something.
That could be too.
Now, I don't know that. I don't know if he's actually trying to accomplish something, but I know why people don't like other people in disc golf, and it's almost invariably because they're actually trying to accomplish something.
When I think about Nate Heinold, I think about the fact that just 6 months ago, the PDGA president was on a podcast talking shit about, I don't know, Paige Pierce, one of the best pros in the field, probably the best disc golfer relative to her peers in the world, and saying that she was like, acting childish or whatever about her comments about how the women's world championship was run, things like that. And then fast forward 6 months later, and that guy, I forget his name, Minichelli, he's out, and Nate Heinold is now the president of the PDGA. And since then, they've done wonderful things like disbanded the national tour in favor of the DGPT, started to build more credibility with the pro scene. They've set up the tournament directors hotline like I forecasted and suggested months ago.
Back in October.
What about like a TD help desk?
Absolutely.
Imagine having a live chat with the PDGA where they have rules officials available, follow the sun, and could answer questions within like 10 minutes day of a tournament.
Sure.
They could probably afford it. That's the thing. I called it. The tournament director's hotline. He manages to do all this and run like 2 of the biggest events. He runs World. He runs, not as a D-Glow, and then the other one, Ledgestone, right? Like I don't know. He seems like he's doing all the right thing. And when the PDGA had all the mishaps during Worlds, he was the one that ate it all. He went on podcasts and took all the shit from everybody and was like really the face of the PDGA. And I don't know. I'm glad that he's running things right now. So I have nothing bad to say about him. I think he's the right guy.
I'll start some shit. I'm reading some Reddits here. Is he a bigoted Jesus freak?
Oh my goodness!
I heard that he pushes religion a little bit, right? And then somewhere
you just started a lot of shit.
I'm just starting some shit because I'll start some shit. But and I'm just reading, some other assholes posts trashing him.
Interesting. Well, as soon as I have to start each, PDGA tournament with the Lord's Prayer, until I see that happen, I don't have any evidence of that.
Right. And I'm 99% with you, except for the 1% of me that just wants to start some shit.
Don't know a whole lot about him. I've heard a few interviews on podcasts and stuff. He seems to be owning up to what mistakes he's done.
Right.
Understands that you make mistakes sometimes when you're trying to figure stuff out, or you're trying things, or when you make a mistake, you own up to it and you try and do better next time.
Yeah, I think the only thing I have against him is that he continues to use the Eureka temp course. I've talked to a few pros whenever they're out at like MVP and stuff, and just nobody likes that course. Although they're also not winning that tournament, so that might explain it. But it doesn't seem to be a very popular course on tour.
I don't mind the water tower hole. I think it's fun when it skips off the water tower.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's that big gong when it hits it.
Yeah. Bing bong.
It is great for marketing. They always put those big, Discraft pictures up there.
All right, Ryan,
Patrick.
pick a hole.
Let's go.
If you want to
hole-
talk about what you want to talk about, you should know what hole I'm thinking of. I'll give you a hint.
Oh, should I?
Mhm.
Okay.
You'll know what hole I'm thinking of. If, depends on what you want to talk about.
I'm gonna get a snack.
Let's go hole 8.
Okay. Could a lefty ever become the highest rated player in disc golf?
I mean, sure, they could. I don't think that there's any lefties out there in the game right now that have the potential to do it.
That would have been a better question.
I don't know if Conrad can win the USDGC with the backhand, then
Mm,
a lefty can overcome, a course designed for righties by a righty. And I don't know. I mean, it'll be tougher, but I think it's possible. I don't think there's anybody in the field now that can do it, though.
but everybody would agree it would be tougher, or no?
I don't agree.
I don't think it would be tougher. I think the
I
reason
don't
that the
agree
highest
either.
player is a righty is just pure probability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, that upper echelon of player are playing the best designed courses in the country for ratings.
True. Yep.
And the best designers do not design for right-handed or left-handed players. There had been a design movement towards lefty-righty balance, and the best designers in the game don't like that philosophy. They don't like calling it that.
Kind of limits you right off the bat.
Right. I know designers who look at their design up front before it goes into the ground, and they say, okay, and they want to know hole by hole, 1 righty, 2 lefty, 3 lefty, 4 righty, 5 righty, 6 righty. And they'll say, oh my God, I have 6 righty holes. And, let me tell you something. Your design sucks balls because what you do not have is multiple compelling options off of each tee. And the best designers I know are designing for that. And I think especially if we're talking about the future. So your question is, will it ever happen?
I don't see why not. But would you agree there's nobody in the field right now that has that potential that you've seen throw? Like, do you think Chris Clemens could do it? Nathan
I
Queen?
agree if you say it.
Chris Clemens is the best lefty.
I know which guys on Team Wedge are lefties, and that's the end of it.
That's fair.
I'd say Chris Clemens is probably the best lefty in the world right now.
Probably. Can't think of any others.
Zach Milton.
I was trying to pick the hockey one. I picked Jacob Trouba's number.
Ah, well, you should have been
I didn't
thinking
know
about
what you were thinking.
something more. Kenji, what do you got? No 1, no 8, any of the 18. What do you got?
Hole 6.
Ryan's hockey minute. Ryan's hockey minute. Ryan's hockey
The
minute.
original 6. Come on, man.
Oh, that's clever. That's clever. Fantastic. Well, oh my goodness. I don't even know. Where did we last leave off?
Have we talked about hockey this
We have
season
not.
at all?
And we're about
No.
a quarter way into the season.
No, so
So I guess we
Yeah.
left off at the end of last season.
you were talking about the Rangers doing a lot of moves.
Things
was
got
kinda
even
like-
worse. If you can believe it. So yeah,
you
so
can believe
basically,
that.
at the end of the season, the Rangers got their ass handed to them by a couple of tougher teams like the Capitals and at the time the Islanders. And so they just cleaned house at the end of the season. They fired their president, their general manager, and they promoted their assistant general manager to basically president of everything and God, Chris Drury, former Rangers captain. After that, Chris Drury fires the coach, and they go out during the course of the offseason, and they just literally bring in the Bash brothers. They bring in, I think we covered this, they brought in like Ryan Reeves, who's like a known bruiser, enforcer, who just happens to be an awesome guy too. Super happy he's on the Rangers. And they ship out like a bunch of skill players because like the whole thing is that they're not tough enough to play against. And the craziest freaking thing about it is it worked. So the Rangers, like as of like last week, were first in the entire league. They've only lost something like 4 games. They've won 16 or 17. And right now, I think they're like 3rd in the Metro right now, but they're like 6th in the league. And things are going extremely well for the Rangers. It's crazy. But the craziest story, I think, in hockey right now is, when you look at where teams were last season compared to this season, one of the big stories is the Islanders. The Islanders like made it to like deep in the playoffs last year. and they have a brand new building in Long Island. I'm sure you've all heard of this, UBS Arena. Like even like the wrestling matches they have there, they're taunting the crowd about how the Islanders have still never won a game in their new arena, and they've played like 10 of them, which is just so embarrassing. So the Islanders are horrible. But the craziest thing is the Montreal Canadiens, who literally were in the Stanley Cup final last year, have the worst record in the NHL. It's just so crazy that you can go from in the finals to dead last and likely to get like a top 3 pick in just one season.
Does the player base in hockey change that much?
They shipped out a good center, their star goalie took personal leave for, I think it's just substance abuse, maybe like painkillers and stuff. So he's been out, but like probably 3 or 4 roster moves, and they're all of a sudden at the bottom of their of the league. But there isn't like a ton of trading in the NHL. It's not like very dynamic.
In Major League Baseball, twice the Florida Marlins built a young core, went out, spent on free agency, won a World Series right as those young players were about to get paid. Then they let them go, dump all the other salary guys because their contracts ending, and started all over again. And it worked for them twice. They did it in like three, I think it was a handful of years after their first year did they won the first World Series. So it's starting to be a thing.
No, moral of the story: if you want to see a hockey game, you want cheap tickets, go to an Islanders game.
Didn't you go to watch a game?
2 Saturdays ago, I got to go to see the Blackhawks and Rangers play at MSG. I was so pissed because Marc-Andre Fleury, who just got his like 500th win, a legend, used to be a Penguin and then played for the Knights for a while. He's now with Chicago. I wanted to see him play. I actually had seats like in the 100 sections right behind him. So I was going to watch the Rangers pepper him with shots for 2 periods, and they sent in the backup, and then the Rangers had their backup in. So it was like, backup versus backup game, which kind of sucked. But Rangers won, which was great.
Did you get to talk at Team Challenge with Tucker Little Hockey? He works for the Thunder,
The
right?
Thunderbirds?
Hockey team?
Oh yeah.
I don't know what.
No, the Glens Falls
Adirondack
Thunder.
No, I didn't know.
Are they a hockey team?
I never made that connection.
No, but we did talk all about music. Tyler gave me a speaker, so I controlled the tunes for the round.
Nice. But yeah, right? Doesn't Tucker does media or
that's
something
awesome.
for the Thunder, right?
He does all their
Video stuff?
scoreboard stuff and video stuff, and
they're in the ECHL. Nice, cool. Oh, they're with the Devils. They're like a Devils. That's interesting. Huh. Cool.
Yeah, I don't know what is it like. AA, what is the hours in baseball? What is it in like hockey?
It's not the league below. It's the league below that, basically.
Okay.
Whatever that is. AA. Is AAA like the AHL then?
Yeah, it's right. It's
Got
where
it.
you get most of your guys. Yeah, as far as it's 3-2-1, AAA, AA, single A. And I was gonna ask you. I weirdly woke up. I think it was like NBC, whatever their morning show is, and they were talking about hotels that charge extra. If you look at your receipt, they charge something. It'll be like $40, and you get for free food or something. You were talking about how expensive it was to go to the city, and they said that people would look, and on the receipt it would say something like they were charged some kind of service that they weren't even aware
of. They do
of.
this in Vegas. It's like you have to pay a $50 fee for the resort, and they give you like $50 worth of crap that you have to spend. It's like, oh, well, your $50 then gets you a $35 food voucher and, a $10 voucher at the spa. And so you're just like, but I don't want that. They're like, oh, no. You need this resort fee. And don't worry, you can get your money back. You just have to go spend it at these places within our premises. So that's the thing that Vegas has been doing for a while.
Where nothing costs as little.
Right. And of course, if you spend $10 at the spa, I don't know, they like rub your temples for 5 minutes. I don't know. like you got to pay a lot of money to get your money's worth. But yeah, no, it was like ludicrously expensive. I used points because I just couldn't bear to spend cash or put it on my credit card. I just used my points, which feel like fake money.
That is fake money.